Right?
My analysis, you mean?
Yeah, your analysis. Your fundamental analysis.
Okay, is it recording already?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. My analysis on Bitcoin is a long-term analysis. And there's gonna be a global bank crisis. We have already seen that happening. And now London has suffering from a big bank crisis, and the others will follow. China is gonna fall down at some point. US has invested most of the investment on China because that was supposed to be the next growing economy, but it turns out to be that the growing economies were actually just Ponzi schemes. So, and then we have the whole situation with Russia, and there's gonna be a situation when the masses are going to start thinking about where they're gonna put their money so that they can secure them. Currently, crypto is only for a small amount of people, those who are really into it. But there's gonna be at some point a massive group of people who are gonna start thinking about securing their money in different ways. And because Bitcoin is the most known of them, that's probably the only one they know about, they're gonna put their money on Bitcoin. So it's a psychological thing that people forget. And I think it's gonna be the boomers, the ones who have collected already enough money and enough funds, and they need to secure them somehow. So the best business idea at the moment would be to be a boomer analysis, explaining the boomers.
Sorry, I need to interrupt you. So I actually wanted to have just a million-foot overview, very short and condensed. Now we're already getting excited into the boomers. We fundamentally disagree on the boomer situation. I talked to boomers who are 60 years plus, and it's just impossible to get them into Bitcoin. There are exceptions, but I'm talking about 99% of the people. Now, hold on. Now, but this is just supposed to be a quick update, and also a quick trade analysis, like I did a few today, because there's people saying, okay, I want to see some evidence.
Listen to me.
Can I please?
Listen to me.
I'm listening to you all the time. Okay,
continue. But you were too early. You're too early. People need to be scared before they're gonna go there. They need to see the global crisis. They need to see the banks falling before they are ready to do that and secure their assets.
Okay, understood. Now, I have a question for you. If you look at that chart, because we cannot only look at 25% of the thing, we need to look at the 360, right? The economics, how the markets are connected, the bank crisis in China. So this is the whole topic for ours. Just want to keep it very short and condensed. So you think that the crisis that we are heading into is going to propel digital assets and Bitcoin further up? Okay, so that is your narrative. I think we should do a macro on this, not just like a quick one. But I know that you are not coming from technical analysis. Still, I would like to ask you, if you look at this current setup, if you combine this, what I call a fake rally or a relief rally or a suckers rally, we had something yesterday as well, if you compare this move yesterday from Bitcoin, from here, up here, and then here down, and now you see something similar playing out, right? Would you say we're gonna just see a repetition? Maybe the price is moving just back to around 20,000, and then going back down. Is that what you would, as someone who knows a little bit about analytics on the technical side, but is actually coming from a much larger level of research? But if you just look at that, is it not a very simple setup that is very likely to play
It's
out?
not very likely
Why not?
situation.
Why not?
I'm just basing it on math.
And based on mass, what do you see here?
I mean, when you look at statistics and you look at the situation when it went up the last time, it's completely different compared to the current situation.
Okay. And
There
how
are
is that
too
different?
many factors that are playing into the situation. I mean, it might go up, who knows? These factors are not there presented before, but they are completely different.
Yeah. Would you like to hear one secret or one thing that's screaming at me when I look at this? I'm not talking about the cycle from last year compared to this, because of course we have all this uncertainty in the world, but this is just like this is just a day trade setup compared to the day before, and just to see if we're gonna see a fractal repeating from yesterday. See, that's what I was asking for. Like, do you think we're gonna go simply based on the statistics and where you see the momentum indicators hitting back the 2000, 20,000, staying there for a couple hours, and then flash crash down and sideways. And now we are seeing something to play out again to the upside. I actually talked about this here in the morning. I think I made a screenshot. And do you see why I didn't put the arrow? The green arrow obviously is meaning I see green candles up to where we were yesterday, and actually only put it to around about 19,700. Because you are a mathematics engineer, you studied this kind of stuff, right? Is there something that you can see here? And I give you an indication. Look at the stochastics.
I mean, look at the previous growth.
Look at this here.
But look at the previous growth, how it happened.
Now we want to stay on the short time frame, 1 hour, and that's it. Just make a very quick one and give away some insight that maybe other people are not looking at.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Okay, then let me hear it.
If you look at the previous growth, that was completely different situation. It's not the same. It's such an, you can already see that it's completely a fraction, the growth of the Bitcoin. Last time when it went up directly, and stayed, there was no friction. But then now there's too much friction and completely different factors. It's not
this friction over
here.
Here we had sideways movement.
Yes.
And then we had actually a resistance point that was tested a couple of times, and then we had this major move up, and right now we don't see that, right? That's one part. Excellent. Now I want to add one more time, and then we just close this. On the stochastic oscillator, why is there indication that we are not going much higher than here and then falling down, compared to here, where we actually went up quite a bit higher than what's most likely playing out today?
Didn't you just ask that question?
Yeah, and you gave me one explanation according to the formation of the candles, but not according to the statistics.
It was based on statistics.
Yeah, okay, but not on stochastic statistics.
Well, that's all I can give you right now.
Okay, fine. Now I learned something from you, that's fine. And now you learn something from me, and then
I have a closing statement.
Okay. Can you do the closing statement before I show you the reason why the stochastic indicator is most likely pointing towards what I'm just saying, and what you said as well? Just Nini, you know, you said we talked a lot about confluence today, right? That you want to have confluence, and the more confluence you have, the more precise the direction you can forecast?
The confluence, the word is so confusing. I'm constantly thinking about confluence.
All right, so let's bring it to a close. We are at the 9 round number, 19,550, 200 bucks more up, and then goodbye. And why? Look, the stochastic indicator, yeah, on the top yesterday, when we reached the top, when Bitcoin was trying to break, but it went sideways, but it was on the top. So that is the stochastics was around 98, okay, yesterday. Now look what happens today. Now the stochastics is at 98 again already. So that means that this goes way back statistically. So this is the indicator where that gives me the confirmation or the confidence that that sideways movement that we're going to see now is not going to happen on that level, but it's going to happen on that level before we see further downside. Now you come to your closing statement, please.
Okay. First of all, you can start when you follow up on closely the evolvement of the global bank crisis. You can start seeing the correlation between the crypto and the bank crisis evolvement, and the person who comes out with the business who makes it overly simplified for this boomer situation to secure their assets mainly on not on crypto but mainly on shares, like, and companies that are absolutely completely like well-founded and not making profits, like Google and Amazon and Apple, for example. And the reason for that is because you don't want to build a business where you're just consulting some boomers. You're gonna go crazy.
Please don't go back to the boomers.
I'm gonna say that you want to make consistent profit every single
she doesn't even let me talk.
quarter to get some money out of the profits that they make. So you need to secure the profits, and then you take 20% of the assets and you invest it in crypto, and every quarter you get the percentage of the profit that they are making.
Got it. Understood. Now, last thing, then we really have to come to an end. Now, that new information that came in, because people don't know, Marjo, she's our head of research, so she actually doesn't look really at charts, but she looks at the overall picture. Now there's something new that came in, data from London, and I would like to ask you, based on that, another confluence that we have just seen coming in, or you have analyzed it. This is my, like, this was from last week, my midterm projection where things are going, and it didn't play out last week despite of the Fed interest rate hikes, despite of Putin sending, at least announcing to send 300,000 people to Ukraine. And now we have another event, and that is the bank and something about the bonds that suddenly went through the roof. Now, without explaining the bonds and how it went through the roof in England, this is now the short version. Would you say that this is going to have, over the short term, in the next couple of weeks, an effect immediately that you said initiated before, that is going to drive people towards Bitcoin? Or would you say that in the context of all these events, we're going to see further downside and we're going to 16K as a next step, and even potentially a lot not lower?
it's purely psychological. It depends what kind of news are made out of it and what kind of clickbaits and how the social media is presenting these situations. Because people need to be scared to be pushed towards crypto. So it doesn't matter that these situations are happening, just as long as if people are not knowing about them or they're not scared and there's no news, what it doesn't matter. It's all psychological.
Okay. So then let's end it with that point. I agree on the psychologics. This is another confluence that we need to look at. Yeah.
Can we use some other word than confluence, please?
Then give me a suggestion. What else? A summary of data points that you collected to get a 360 point of view, and then being able to connect all the dots, come to the right insights, and come to the insights that are moving the needles, not all of these indicators or confluences that we discussed here and before are going to trigger some cataclysmic event. The Fed is one of the confluence factors,
use data
didn't.
summary.
And it didn't. The question is, like, we don't have to identify the one that is going to move the needle. We only have to get the 360-degree overview so that all of these indicators, factors, determinators, if that's something that you prefer to talk about, is this going to influence the buyers in this market to get in more because they see that as a relatively secure asset compared to everything else.
But there's
collapsing.
something else.
Okay.
You don't need to be a pussy who's just following from the sides on what's going
Did
to
you say
happen.
pussy?
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't need to be a pussy who's just following on the side what's happening. You should just create a TikTok account or other accounts and create videos out of this to collect enough audience and be the one who's actually dominating on what people are gonna be afraid of. And then you can start making investment based on your own audience. It means then that you can dominate what's going to happen and invest accordingly.
Love it. And that I guess was a beautiful final statement. That was not planned to go that long and cover these many things, but I think it's good. And thanks.
If you do it correctly,
Yeah,
it works.
let's do it correctly. Let's work. Let's make it happen. And AIDA Digital out.